Hello, folks. My name's Ernie Johnson. His name is Kenny the Jet Smith. His name is Shaquille O'Neal. The playoffs are right around the corner as we wind down the regular season.
It's interconference time for the New York Knicks as they travel to enemy territory looking for a win. Welcome, everyone, to Noche Nvidia. A Latin theme is the backdrop to tonight's festivities. And along with Greg Anthony, Brent Barry, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. And alongside us tonight, we have a very special guest you're going to enjoy. 5-time NBA champion, 9-time all-defensive first-team selection. Laker legend, the terrific Kobe Bryant. Kobe, great to see you. We're so excited to have you.
No, thank you. I wouldn't miss a chance to stop by and call a game with you guys.
You still watch a lot, don't you?
I do. I'm a big fan.
You take a look at Los Angeles. 16 games off the lead. They may not be championship contenders, but a dangerous team.
Yeah, and they're going through right now one of those situations that's just difficult to deal with. Doubt begins to really creep in when the losses continue to mount, and then you can have splintering, which doesn't help the situation.
All right, let's set the floor. Courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Setting the floor for the Knicks. They've got Dennis Smith, Hazonia out there with Jordan, and it's Dotson in at the shooting guard position. Kobe, how important is it for young players to have mentors?
Extremely important. I consider them the North Star. Right? They're always there to provide guidance and kind of a map of generally where you want to go, the direction you want to go. And I always felt muses were important because if I could study them and see how they got to where they are, it'll help me avoid some of the landmines that they may have stepped on and had to persevere through.
And gracious of you to become a mentor now for so many.
Well, it's part of the responsibility, I think, of giving back to the game, right? The game has given me so much. I've had great mentors in my life, and I feel like it's important to pay it forward.
Here's Jordan after the basket by Los Angeles.
Yeah, and the effort and anticipation on defense won't show up in the individual stat sheet, but effective.
Yeah, he takes a nice angle on it. He doesn't get the block, but he does get the alter.
Here's Smith, and he can be counted on to put some points on the board every night. He's averaging right around 13.5 points a game. Just around a minute and a half into the first quarter. And stolen by LeBron. Pass break, the Lakers. Out to Kuzma. Back to Bullock. Lakers passing it around. Passes it to Dotson. The lead pass was put in just the right spot. Dotson's got his first points of the night.
You know, we talk so much about accurate shooting. Sometimes accurate passing can lead to great shooting. You saw it there.
And here is LeBron. Can't connect from 13 feet out. And still a close game as the first quarter comes to a close. Lakers ahead. They're up by 3. Stay with us as we get set to bring you the second quarter right after this. Well, you see a lot of players who pick up a controller and fire up NBA 2K, thank goodness, including the king himself, LeBron James.
I play 2K all the time. Seriously, when I'm playing the game, I'm putting certain lineups on the court that I see could actually help us in real life, which is very weird.
Always experimenting, always keeping his mind engaged, Greg, with basketball.
And that's who Bron is. He lives, breathes, and eats basketball.
Welcome back, everyone, to the second quarter of play here on Noche Latina. Vámonos. And taking a look at Los Angeles' performance here, what have they been doing or not doing?
A huge fan of how they have rotated here defensively, been able to challenge multiple shots.
And if you're rotating like that, it's got to be a great line of communication between all five guys. You see that reflected on the scores, all that trust showing up with the lead.
Rondo and Caldwell Pope in the backcourt. Wagner out there with Muscala, and it's LeBron in at the 3 spot. That's the group for the Lakers to start the second quarter. Well, Kobe, I have to say it's been a real pleasure having you stop by our booth and spending some time with us for this game. Thanks again for coming by. I hope we can do it again.
We will, man. It's been a blast.
There he is, folks, the great Kobe Bryant. And Brent, we know just how competitive Kobe was as a player, and it's always nice to hear a more reflective side of him when he joins us here in the booth.
Funny the things that you notice, Kevin, when you're in the booth here versus the role that you play as a player, especially for a guy who lives and breathes basketball like Kobe Bryant.
Here's Smith following the basket by LeBron James. Good on that shot, and with that, the Los Angeles lead is cut to just 7 on the basket from Smith. Pass to Wagner. James in the post. Knicks with the rebound. Last time they met in New York.
And they scratched out a close win the last time these two teams met. I think their ability to attack and create foul trouble for the opposition was a real factor.
Well, it was, because they got to play a lot of the second half against the second unit. The guys that ordinarily would have been out there were stuck on the bench with all those fouls.
Looking at who's out there now for the Lakers. Kyle Kuzma comes in for Mike Muscala. And it's Josh Hart in for Caldwell Pope.
And I need to see some more assertiveness out of these defenders.
Knicks trail by 9. Moutier with the ball. He's certainly been a consistent piece of their offense, averaging about 14.5 points a game. Here's Knox. And no good on the last second attempt this time. And so it's the Los Angeles Lakers in control with a 9-point lead to end the quarter. Their shooting has been the big key.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, hoop fans. NBA halftime show on 2K Sports. EJ, Shaq, Jet. A competitive matchup for the Lakers in the first quarter. At the end of the period, they held a 3-point lead. In the second quarter, they made it look easy. They played well at both ends of the court, and suddenly, they're sitting on a 9-point lead here at halftime. And taking a look at the Lakers, Shaq, what'd you think?
Well, Kenny knows about this. I used to do this to his team all the time. Take advantage of you down low. Mismatch. Barbecue chicken alert. Make good entry passes. That led to some good looks.
And for those of you just tuning in, thanks for being with us. The second half of this game still to play. You look at James, what a contribution.
And I just love how aggressive he is. Usually tries to work for the best shot that he can.
Well, we saw that in the first half, and he's constantly on the move and slipping behind the eyes of the defense to work closer to the rim.
Tipping off the second half, here's David Fizdale's 5. Hezonja is out there with Jordan. Then it's Smith, and it's Knox in at the 3 spot. Here's Dotson. He's guarded by Bullock. Dotson the pass to Knox. Smith outside. When it comes to veteran players, Brand, on a team, what characteristics make for a good leader for a bunch of young guys under him?
We talk a lot about veteran guys on teams, Kevin, and I think one of the most important aspects to think about is that those veterans have a lot more impact if they're still part of playing minutes for a coaching staff. At some point, 4 or 5 months into a season, and an older player is telling you how to do something and only get a chance to see it during practice or him pointing it out on film when you're playing, doesn't have as much of an impact.
Doesn't resonate as much.
When a guy gets 15 minutes a night and you get to see him do those things as a young player from the bench and say, wow, everything he told me on my list, he's checked all those boxes. So having a vet that plays, much more impactful.
Good point. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, guys, Kyle Kuzma had a tough upbringing in Flint, Michigan. He said they had the recession, lead in the water. It was like an urban war zone. We probably moved 14 times before I was 16. Basketball was my key. His drive to succeed in the NBA was born of a desire to escape that environment. Kevin?
A tremendous work ethic, David. Thank you. Looking at who's out there now for the Lakers. Wagner, he's checked in for JaVale McGee. Josh Hart comes in for Reggie Bullock. And it's Kentavious Caldwell-Pope in for Rajon Rondo. There's 31 seconds left in the third. Caldwell-Pope kicks to James. Lays it up off the glass. LeBron's got 10.
Well, the combination of power and finesse, it just is automatic when LeBron gets down low, one of the most efficient paint players in the game.
Now here's Moutier. He's tightly guarded. No good that time.
Yeah, just misjudged the layup. Defense has to be better. Very fortunate there.
And we've reached the end of the third. Lakers lead by 7. Live from the Staples Center, you're watching 2K Sports. While we have the chance now, folks, let's go to our State Farm assist of the game.
And the definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them, and what a beautiful feed.
The coaches talk about it all the time, but to be able to play with that kind of feel, nice play, collaborating, improvising, and organic.
And this is it. Glad to have you along for this fourth and final quarter. Kyle Kuzma is out there with Muscala. Then it's Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. And it's Wagner in at the 5 spot. That's who's in the game for the Lakers. Here's Moutier. It's tipped. Caldwell-Pope outside. Wagner, good. Wagner's got the first points up on the board here in the fourth for Los Angeles.
Yeah, that's pretty much a perfect pass, and that's also alliteration.
And the basket is good. Got it to go through on the contact, so a free throw coming up. A great opportunity for a three-point play. And the Lakers with some changes. Lance Stephenson's checked in for Wagner. Rajon Rondo is subbed in for Caldwell-Pope. And a switch here also for New York. Mario Hezonja's checked in for Vonleh. Here's Kuzma. That's good, and it's Stephenson with the assist.
Yeah, the D has not been able to keep the ball out of the paint at that end of the floor.
Knicks trail by 8. Here's Moutier. Rebound by Muscala. 1:16 left to play in the final quarter. Here's Kuzma. And the lead now, double digits on that bucket.
And he can smell blood in the water. Excellent finish.
Yeah, when your opponent's down and frustrated, this is when you can turn it up.
New York calls timeout. They trail by 11. 1:11 left in the fourth quarter. JaVale McGee's checked in for the Lakers. Reggie Bullock comes in for Josh Hart. And the Knicks making a change here. 1:11 left to play here in the fourth. Rondo against Smith. Count that one.
A physical player. Even when you hit Smith Jr., he doesn't blink. Wills those shots in.
Rondo kicks to Stephenson. McGee against Jordan. The fader. Jordan with the rebound. Knicks on offense. 9-point game. And stolen by Kuzma. Here's McGee. Jordan with some nice D.
Well, the D did their job there. Excellent contest to alter the close ranger.
Here's Knox. Good D by Stevenson. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. McGee the pass to Kuzma. And Stevenson kicks to Kuzma. Second shot opportunity. A strong finish under heavy pressure all over.
And they've earned this one, showing an ability to dominate in front of their home crowd.
Yeah, tick-tock and not much time on the clock left. Double-digit lead and coming up roses.
And so it's the Lakers taking care of business here. A confident win and one where they clearly showed the greater effort.
Yeah, I mean, it was a solid performance, particularly here at home.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Brent Berry, Greg Anthony, and David Ulrich, this is Kevin Harlan along with our 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. So long.